Hi everybody, it's Thomas Wooden Railway here, and I want to welcome you to this first video in this round of Thomas Wooden Railway discussions. First off, I want to sincerely apologize because the discussions are so delayed. I know I said in the teaser video that discussions would be coming around the end of February, and as you can tell, that is definitely not the case. But anyway, I finally got things back on track. I had some computer issues, some filming issues with this new camera that I'm using, and now that we've got all those things worked out, it's finally time to get back to what I was originally supposed to do close to 3 weeks ago, and that is Thomas Wooden Railway discussions. Alright everybody, are you ready? Because here we go. As most of you know, I have been very unimpressed with the types of Thomas Wooden Railway items that have been rolled out in the recent years by companies such as Learning Curve, Tomy, and even this year, Mattel. And I told myself, well, I'll probably never buy any of those items anyway, so it really doesn't matter. But then I was wandering through the toy shop today, and, well, I saw something that caught my eye, and I simply couldn't let it go. I knew I had to do a Thomas Wooden Railway discussion on this item. And so, well, here it is, the first review in this round of Thomas Wooden Railway discussions. There we go. The 2013 rendition of the Flying Scotsman. Before I take this bad boy out of his package, I just want to take a look at the boxing that it comes in, because I feel like this is one of the strong suits of the fact that Mattel has taken over the Thomas Wooden Railway line. The old Tomy and Learning Curve packages were boring and plain and really didn't offer you anything other than eye candy, so I really want to examine this before I take the Flying Scotsman out. This is something very interesting right here. This is the Thomas & Friends Wooden Railway logo that was used while Learning Curve and Tomy were in control of the brand, and it appears Fisher-Price and Mattel have decided to keep it, so that's very interesting. As you can see, we get a really cool shot of the Flying Scotsman here. It's really interesting to note, though, how he's not on any track. I don't know why he's not on track. Oh well. And then another thing is that his tenders are mixed up here on the package. That's very interesting. This is probably the coolest part of the entire package, in my opinion, is this nice yellow bar running across the top that says Flying Scotsman. It really catches your eye, and I mean, when I was walking through the store, like I said, it just caught my eye, and I was like, wow, there it is. Even though Mattel is taking over the company, things are still made in China, it appears. Oh well, some things never change, I guess. This is something I'd never noticed before on any Tomy item, and maybe I just maybe I just skipped over it. But this product contains magnets. Do not use around items that are sensitive to or affected by magnetic fields. Obviously these items have magnets, but I don't remember that warning on any Tomy or Learning Curve items, so maybe that's new. And of course, the Fisher-Price logo with a place that you can go and check out the Thomas & Friends Wooden Railway line on the internet. So this back of the package, really in one word, is stunning. It's beautiful, and it really catches your eye, and it makes you want to see what this Flying Scotsman is really all about. And as I turn the Flying Scotsman around, in this review I just want to show you guys what these two renditions of the same character look like. Both made by different companies, both made over 10 years apart, and just see how different they really are. For the longest time, this character right here, the Flying Scotsman, was highly sought after on eBay, one of the rarest Thomas Wooden Railway items, sometimes going for well over $150. And then here's the new version of the Flying Scotsman, and I just want to see how well this stacks up to, you know, what we've seen in the catalogs, what we've seen from the videos that other YouTubers have posted, and especially just compare these two models, because even though they look very similar, they're gonna be very different, I have a feeling. So I'm gonna pause the video right here, gonna do some editing movie magic, and before you know it, this Flying Scotsman is gonna be out of the package so we can do an in-depth review of these two new items. Well, everybody, here he is out of the package, and man, all I can say is, wow, this is one stunning item. I mean, that's the word that comes to my mind when I see this. It's stunning. It's certainly very interesting, and we're going to find out what's so interesting about it when I start this review and kind of compare this new version, 2013 version of the Flying Scotsman, to that version over there, which is from 1999. So since the Flying Scotsman is so long, we're going to have to kind of divide this review up into sections and just kind of do it piece by piece. So let's move the Flying Scotsman, or let's move both of the Flying Scotsmans onto the turntable, and let's see how they stack up against each other. So this Flying Scotsman, the 2013 version on the left, the 1999 version on the right. As you can tell, the 2013 version has a lot more detail all over the place. You see the lighter stripes along the boiler. Obviously none there. The wheels on the 2013 version are a little bit smaller. Look at the details. I'm just kind of going back and forth here because, I mean, really the difference between the 2013 version and this old version is just how it looks and how it feels, especially. I'll get to that in a second. One of the coolest parts of this new 2013, I don't know if you can see that right there, it says Mainland Railway. It's a really cool logo they have there. And in this old version, they don't have that, so that's something very interesting to note. I'm just going to turn these around really quick and take a look at the differences. Nothing different, except we have the Widow's Peak there that doesn't stick out. Nothing here, of course. I'll just show you guys the other side, but they're obviously the same because these items are symmetrical. And now we have the old version on the right and the new version on the left. As you can see, just both of these items, seeing them side by side after so many years, where this item, this old version, was just so rare and so hard to find, seeing it next to this new version is really, really interesting. And then finally, let's take a look at what these two items look like side by side. Well, it's kind of interesting, as you can tell. This is not because of the angle that I'm at. I'm pretty much dead on in terms of what you guys are seeing, because it kind of looks like it's a little bit weird, but yes, the 2013 version does have a bigger face. It still has that classic wink though, which is what I like. Man, this is just so cool to see these two items next to each other. Really, really cool. Yeah, and I think the 2013 version in general is a little bit bigger, for the exception of the wheels, which I already talked about. So we're going to move these two items aside and then focus on the first part of one of the two tenders, 2013 version right here, and the 1999 version. So, first impressions, yes, the paint has changed a little bit. This seems to be kind of appearing to be a lime green, this old version, and then this one's a much darker green. Still has the LNER right there, so I'm glad they kept that. You know, they didn't try to replace it with anything else. And just kind of going back and forth here, as you can see, let's go up top for a second and look at the pieces of coal. Look relatively the same, which is kind of interesting. Alright, we'll flip it around, give you guys a peek at the other side. See what this item is just all about, and wow. You know, the line on this version is a little bit thicker than that version. The wheels appear to be the same. This is the version, the wheels on the 2013 version may be a tiny bit smaller, but nothing major. And then finally, the last part of this review is the second tender that the Flying Scotsman carries around, because according to Gordon, or when Gordon and the Flying Scotsman are talking in the Railway series, the Flying Scotsman has a long ways to go between water stations and coal stations, and that's why he needs two tenders, in addition to the fact that his railway is very poor. So same thing here, the numbers are different, or the styling of the numbers are different. They haven't changed any of the numbers actually. The paint's different. Let's go up top, and looks about the same. Doesn't look that much different. We'll flip these around. In terms of, you know, adding you know, extra areas to these two versions of the trains, nothing really seems to be added. So it's not like they added something that would totally mess up, you know, what the Flying Scotsman looks like on the engine himself. And then on these tenders, Fisher-Price have just done a really good job of just updating this model and making it look, you know, what it's supposed to look like if the Flying Scotsman were on the island of Sodor in the year 2013. One interesting point between these two versions of the Flying Scotsman is obviously the time difference. This was made in 1999 and this was made most recently in 2013. However, I'm really intrigued by the fact of what they are made, or supposedly made out of. This is the 1999 version, the one I've had for a very long time, that's been seen in my series and everything, and it feels really nice. You know, I shake it up and down, it has a nice sound to it. I'll put them over in the siding here, but then when you get to this version, I don't know what it is. It's probably just the material that it's made out of. It just makes a very, very weird noise. And I kind of looked around, and the fact is that the bogies are plastic, and this is just kind of a sign of the Thomas Wooden Railway going through a change. The fact that the bogies are plastic, things in the Thomas Wooden Railway line becoming more and more plastic, something that is scary. I think that is scary, definitely, because it's a Thomas Wooden Railway line and you need to keep as much stuff as possible wooden. But even with, you know, Fisher-Price taking over the line, they really haven't done anything different that I don't think Tomy would have done if they were in this situation. I mean, it even sounds different. It feels a lot lighter, and that's because of the extra use of plastic. My opinion on this has kind of changed gradually over the time. I was highly against plastic, you know, when it was first being introduced, and I really don't like plastic to this day even. But I feel like it is just one of those things that we can't control and that we just have to get used to. And it's unfortunate because I don't want to get used to it. I really don't. I enjoy the 1999 Flying Scotsman with the wood rather than the 2013 one with the plastic. I'm not saying that the 2013 version isn't good, because I feel like it is very good. But it's just, I guess, it's just times are changing, and we really can't do that much about it, which is unfortunate. These items, both of these models look great. I'm highly impressed with them. There are some subtle differences, as you can tell. Hopefully I've pointed them out. But you know what? This has really been an eye-opener. You know, this right here was the first 2013 version model that I got. And so I was, you know, totally blind to what Mattel and Fisher-Price were doing up to this point, because I didn't have, you know, any of the other new releases or any of the new characters like Luke or Stafford or anything like that. So this has been a very cool item. I will talk about this as well just very briefly. The price of this item also shocked me. Where I got it, it cost me $22, which is actually cheaper than a ThomasWoodenRailway Gordon, if you can believe that. This is, you know, much bigger than Gordon, yet it cost me less. I don't know what that has to do with anything. I thought that was very interesting, so I thought I'd point that out. But, if you guys have any theories on that, please let me know, because I'm very intrigued to see, you know, what this means. Before I end this video, and I don't want to end it very abruptly, but I want to keep this video as short as possible, I just thought I'd show you guys the pamphlet here that came with it, because it's a very interesting pamphlet. Of course, it says the 2013 collector checklist and just all the new items. I won't go into any detail, but as you can see, the new versions of all the items. There are Caitlin and Connor from King of the Railway. Everybody is obsessed with those items, and I just don't get it, because every year when the movie's about to come out, everybody always gets obsessed. I hope that's hopefully a prototype version of Kevin. I sure hope it is. There's Steven and Millie, but these new versions are looking pretty good. As you can, there's Jack. I hope that's a prototype too. Ugh. But anyway, let me flip it around for a sec, because I thought this was the coolest part. Wow, very nice short layout of the new stuff that you can buy with Mattel's items. And so yeah, so that's all I'll say about the pamphlet. I just thought I'd show that to you guys. But all I can say is, you know what, I'm not as impressed as, you know, I should be, considering it's a 2013 item going up against a 1999 item. But at the same time, you know what, it's pretty decent. I am actually much more impressed than I thought I was going to be. Without a doubt, I still love this version of the Flying Scotsman the best, without a doubt. But this one isn't that bad either, okay? So don't get me wrong, I love the added detail, but there's just something about these old items that just make them so enjoyable and so much more fun to have on your layout than this new stuff. So I'll leave it at that. But you know what, guys? Thank you for watching this video, and I hope I've just given you guys an insight to, you know, what these new 2013 items have to offer you. Alright guys, thank you very much for watching this video, and so long for now.